بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وبعد. Okay, this is basically a follow-up of the third video, Practical Self-Ruqya Part 3, which in that video I talked about general diagnosis, how to generally diagnose your family with sihr, general ain, general waswas, or general jinn possession. Here what I want to do today is just briefly talk about how to actually do specific ruqya on your family, and then after that I want to look at how to do the jinn process, the jinn extraction technique. Okay. Now, if you go back for more details about specific ruqya and the rules for specific ruqya, you need to refer back to the second video, Practical Self-Ruqya Part 2. If you watch that video, inshallah ta'ala, that will give you a lot more information. Okay, because just basically it's the same thing. All we're doing here now with this talk is just going to change the intention. Instead of now me reading specific ruqya myself, the ruqya now will be on somebody else. And within that video, or below that video in the comments, you will see that I've written, there's an article which I wrote, the 7 rules of specific ruqya, which you should refer to if you're going to be doing specific ruqya, because there's certain things you can do, and there's certain things you can't do with specific ruqya, and you have to watch out for shirk, because you could fall into shirk with specific ruqya, okay, which you will find out more information there in that article, inshallah ta'ala. The article is written by, is published by Ruqya Support. So if you type into Google Gallery Ruqya Support, 7 rules for specific ruqya, and you'll find that there, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so basically, remember we did that first talk, the third talk, and we said if you want to work out if your family members or your children have sihr, then what you will do, you will read Fatiha 7 times, you read Ayatul Kursi 7, with the intention of looking for sihr, asking Allah, Ya Rabbi, show if my daughter or my wife has sihr. So Fatiha 7 times, Ayatul Kursi 7 times, the last 2 ayahs of Baqarah 7 times, and then Surah Ikhlas 7 times, and then you will come to Surah Falaq, and then you read the ayah number 4, with the intention of looking for any sihr inside your family. You can do this with a group of your family together, or you can do it individually. There's no harm in doing that. What you do with specific ruqya now, you just change the intention. That's all it is, you see. And what you do there is you just make it more specific. So you wanted to say if they've got the sihr of divorce, instead of looking for general sihr, now you're looking for sihr of divorce, and you keep repeating that ayah until you get a reaction. Now you might get a reaction earlier. It might be when you finish the 7 fatihas, you might start getting a reaction. And it's enough. All you really need to know is that when you get a significant reaction, that's it, khalas. There's no need to carry on with it. Okay. However, having said that, I would suggest that if you do the fatiha first of all, and once you feel that they're getting a reaction, then you can immediately jump to the last ayahs of in Falaq and Nas. So if you're looking for sihr, you focus on ayah number 4. So once you feel like the person's reacting, or getting a reaction, then you immediately jump to ayah number 4 of Surah Falaq, and you keep repeating that. Okay, because that's obviously really that ayah is intended for sihr. To check for ain, the same process as we described in that video. Again, Fatiha 7 times, Ayatul Kursi 7 times, last 2 ayahs of Baqarah 7 times, Surah Ikhlas 7 times, and then you come to the last ayah of Surah Falaq, and you keep repeating that. Obviously, you start from the beginning of Falaq, and you come to the last ayah, and you just keep repeating that until you get a reaction. For jinn possession, for the ain, what you would do there, so to make it specific, that's just the general ain we've discussed there. Once you want to make it specific, and you're looking for specific ain, so you might be ain hasad you're looking for, ain which is to do with hasad. So it's not just ayn, because ayn, two types of ayn. Muta'ajjib, one which, oh, that looks nice on you, amazement. And there's another ayn, which is people are jealous of you. Okay, so you can look for those two types of ayn. Yeah? And you could look for, with that ruqya, you could be looking for ayn which is causing an illness. Cancer, for instance, or another illness, maybe a skin disease. So you're attacking any ayn which is causing that skin disease. And if you get a reaction, then the ayn is causing that skin disease. Okay, for a specific mass ruqya, what you do, Fatiha 7 times, and the intention is to ask Allah to show you the person's got jinn possession, a specific jinn possession. So be Fatiha 7 times, Ayatul Kursi 7 times, last 2 ayahs of Baqarah 7 times, then you come to Surah Ikhlas 7 times, then Surah Nas, then you come to the last ayah, Min al-Jinnati wan Nas, and you keep repeating that with the intention of maybe looking for jinn which has come through sihr. So you want to know if the person's got jinn which has come through sihr, so you read with that intention, you know. Or you could look for ashq, jinn which are in love with the person. You see. So all by just changing the intention from the general now to the specific. For waswas conditioning, it will be again it will be Fatiha 7 times, Ayatul Kursi 7 times, last 2 ayahs of Baqarah 7 times, Surah Ikhlas 7 times, and then Surah Nas. You've got 2 ayahs there, you see. So you've got the first one, Alladhi a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, and you keep repeating that, okay? And then the one after that, Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. So you repeat those 2 ayahs for waswas condition. And you might want to check for maybe a phobia. So if you think that person's got condition because of a particular phobia, and you find that maybe your daughter or your wife, they're scared of spiders. You say, okay, well, see if you're conditioned. If you've got this, there can be a condition in there. So you with that intention, attacking and asking Allah to show you if the person's got conditioning because of the fear of spiders. You know, if you get a reaction, then you know that that's the case. So that's basically specific ruqya on your family. Now, you don't necessarily have to read Ayatul Kursi, the last 2 ayahs of Baqarah and Surah Ikhlas. You could just do Fatiha 7 times or even more if you only know Fatiha. So you could just keep Fatiha as much as you can, and then the last 2, then focus on the Falaq and Nas, the particular ayahs from Surah Falaq and Nas. Okay. If you don't even know the last 2 ayahs of Surah Falaq and Nas, which is rare, but it might happen. So somebody just knows that they've become a Muslim, they just know Surah Fatiha very well. So they could just use Surah Fatiha, and all they need to do is just keep changing the intention though. That's all they need to do. Okay, before we go into the jet process, it's important to talk about some other things related to the jinn possession, because we've got to get, when we're doing the jet process, we need to obviously get as much information as we can to help the person, to help the treatment. And that's what's the whole point of specific ruqya. Specific ruqya is used to find out information about the patient and what their illness is, so we can help the patient. Okay. One of the things you can do is that when you've done this jet process, is to check for damaged jinn. So when you've done the jet process, as we will describe soon, inshallah ta'ala, once you've finished it, you check for damaged jinn. You check the person, and you'll use obviously surah and you can still to do jinn possession. So it's just the general jinn possession now has become specific. So again, you'll be using Fatiha, Ayatul Kursi, and Surah Ikhlas, and you'll be focusing on Min al-Jinnati wan Nas, checking the person for jinn which has been damaged. If you've got jinn which is damaged, you see. So we can check for that. And you can make it quite specific, the intention to see if they've got jinn which is damaged because of the jet process or the hijab process you did on them. You see? So then we can work out how successful the treatment was. You see, by doing that. That intention, alhamdulillah, it allows you to get that information out. The wonderful thing about specific ruqya is that there's no need to talk to the jinns. When you do it, there's no need to talk to the jinns. No need to speak to them. No need, and inshallah, obviously, you're not talking to them, you're not going to fall into shirk with them. Asking them for assistance, which is shirk. and help, you know. So you can get all the information you need without speaking to any jinn. The next thing you can do as well is you can check for dead jinn. So from the process, so when you finish the jet process, when you've done the hijama on them, as we will describe, you can check to see if you've killed any jinn by the permission of Allah. It's not only it's Allah killed through you any jinn because of this process, okay? And you'll see if you've got dead jinn body basically there. Now, the thing with this is that we found that, yes, the dead jinn, the body reacts. Just like a dead human body will react to electricity, the dead jinn react to ruqya, because it's like fire for them. So they start reacting, start moving, so they give you some movements, okay? After a few days, you find that this jinn leaves the body, so then the person becomes jinn clear afterwards. Okay, so as we had in cases. One thing you can't do though, is that you can't check for dying jinn. We can check for damaged jinn, we can check for dead jinn, fine, that's all in the past. But you can't check for dying jinn. You can't go read that book. See, that's why I said it's important to read that article I wrote, and you'll find that article at Gallery Ruqya Support. Yeah? 7 rules for specific Ruqya. You can't check for dying jinn, because that's like looking into the future. You know, just trying to look into the future. Now we don't predict the future. We can't predict the future. You know, so we leave that. We don't do that intention. That intention is you keep away from that intention. It's haram. Keep away from that intention. Looking into the future is it going to die? You know, we're all going to die. All jinn are going to die. You're going to get some sort of all jinn are going to die. Yes. So you leave that. It becomes trivial now. Okay. And we can't work out if the jinn is going to die because of what you've done as well. We can work out once the process is done. You can check for a damaged jinn, or you can check for a dead jinn in the process. Fine. But you can't check for a jinn which is going to die because of what you've done. That's like going into the future. The jinn might die for some other reason, which we don't know. Allah might decree for them. So we can't know that if we've done the hijab on them, that the jinn in now are damaged. The jinn are damaged. Are they going to die from what I've done? No, we can't check for that. Because they might die from some other reason that Allah knows, you see. So we don't check for that. Okay, another thing which is important to check for is the number of jinn inside the body. Okay, now how are we going to work that one out? The reason you need to know this is that it's important to work out, is the person benefit from what you've done with the jinn extraction technique, have they benefit from it? So if you find that the person's got more jinn, or you say, hey, what's happening? It seems getting worse. You see? So that's why it's important to know, it helps you in regards to the treatment of the person. Is the person getting better or getting worse? So it's important to sometimes work out the number of jinn in the person, and then also working out where the jinn are in the body. If you work out where the jinn are in the body, then you need to know how many jinn are in the body. Yeah. And if you find that you're getting more jinn, then we can say that something's happened here. So for instance, you might read a book on somebody, and they've got 4 jinn inside them. Alright, then you come back to, you read a book, you do hijama, and you come back to them a week later, and now they've got 7 jinn inside them. So what's happening, brother? You've got 7 inside you now, what's happening? You see? So then we'll check the person, and maybe the person's not checked himself for, and maybe the person presumed that they just had Ain and Ain jinn. And we recheck them and say, look, that doesn't sound right, brother. Yes, you could have more Ain jinn, but let me just check you for sihr. You've got more jinn inside you now. We just worked out you've got more jinn inside you. Now it might be that you might have sihr. So you check them for sihr, and you find that they've got sihr. That's what the increase in jinn is, because the sahih has sent more jinn to you. So then you told the patient, look, read on the sihr network. Have you been doing that? Read on the sihr network. It's really important to read on the sihr network to stop these jinns being sent to you. And I just recently had a sister called me and text, WhatsApp me saying, alhamdulillah, she got killed from sihr by just reading on the sihr network. Makes a big difference just reading so you got killed from it. Because it's like having a ta'weed in your hand and breaking it up. So if you do it immediately, as soon as you diagnose yourself with sihr, you start reading on the sihr network, you the charlatan, you might get cured straight away. You see. Okay, so how are you going to work out the number of jinn inside the body? Well, let's go back to general diagnosis, right? So when somebody, for instance, let's say somebody just reads on somebody with the intention of, oh, let me see if this person's got something. And as I used to do, actually, just read on a person, okay, and they'll go, oh, there's something there. Yes, the person's reacted to something. What is it? I don't know. They've got X, basically. What is it? I don't know, but they've got something. All right? There's a reaction there. So is it sihr? Is it ayn? We don't know. It's something, but we'll just call it X because we don't know. So now how would I work out what X is? Well, all I need to do really is just change the intention. Now instead of just reading this general niyyah, now I read now with a specific, okay, Allah show me this person's got sihr. Okay? And then, oh, I know what it is. You've got sihr, brother. That's what it is. You've got sihr. So the X is sihr. You see? Let me check for ayn. Oh, there's no ayn. Okay? Let me check for mas. There's no mass, there's no jinn, and there's no waswas. Okay, it's just sihr, brother. You just got sihr. So you can work that out. What the person's got. Likewise with the jinn possession, how you work out whether the jinn is somebody. Again, when you read the general jinn possession, looking for somebody when they've got jinn possession in them. When you read that general intention, all of the jinn start moving around in the body. Okay, all of the jinn start moving around in the body. So we've got an X number of jinn inside that body. Alright? Okay, so there's X number of jinn in that body. All of the jinn are being reacted to the general ruqya. General mass ruqya, general jinn possession ruqya. All of the jinn are reacting. Now in order to work out what it is, that X, what I need to do is just basically change the intention now. Now let's just see if I'd like to show you if this person's got 5 jinn inside him. And you read with that intention, 5 jinn. If you get a reaction, they've got 5 jinn inside them. You see, the best thing to do with this situation is to sometimes use water. I use water. When I did this on myself, I didn't use water, but sometimes in some situations, in order to help the ruqya, get a good reference point. You have to get a good reference point, and you can use water to help you work out what the person's got, because that will intensify the ruqya. And if you still find it difficult to work out the number of jinn inside, because you just the reference point and you're getting reactions, you're not getting reactions, it's still difficult to do, then maybe it is better not to worry about it too much. Okay? Because it's difficult to explain here until you have to experience this when you're reading on different types of people. And like I said before, I've said here, I've said somewhere else, that this knowledge is with the Raqis, so you have to actually watch the Raqis do it. You know? It's practical, it's not, you can't, it's theories, there's enough where you can learn, but most of the knowledge is watching the Raqis in action. So you have to go to the Raqis and watch them do it. And that's why we need Raqis. Although I'm encouraging, self-ruqya, we have to do self-ruqya, but we need Raqis as well. How are we going to learn this knowledge then? If we don't go to the Raqis. Where did I get the knowledge from? Go to the Raqis. Learn it from the Raqis. So we have to learn from the Raqis. Okay, so once you've done that, you've worked, so the person's now reacted to 5 jinn, okay? So now you know the person's got 5 jinn inside them. A better way of doing this, because sometimes it can be quite difficult, you'll be in there just choosing these numbers and you'll be going on there for a long time. You see, because the person will react to, and the person reacting, and you've got there's jinn there, but when you use the numbers like this, 5, 6, 7, it can take a long time. Another way which you can do is, you do, as a person got 10 or more jinn inside them. It's an easy way of doing it, 10 or more jinn inside them. And if you get a reaction, then you know the person got 10 or more jinn inside them. Then you can work it out like that. Then, okay, let's see if there's 15 to 20 jinn inside them. Okay, let's see if there's, by doing that, is there 30 to 40 jinn inside them? Do that, And you can go, obviously, with lower numbers. So is there 9 or less jinn inside them, which I did on myself. And then I worked out, is it 9 to 7 jinn inside me? Okay, 9 to 5 jinn inside me. Is there 3 to 4 jinn inside me? And you work out, finally, maybe the other person's only got 1 jinn inside them. You see. So that's how you basically work out the number of jinn inside somebody. And the reason I keep emphasizing specific ruqya and teaching people and trying to teach people it is because that's how I got cured, That's how I got cured, is through specific ruqya. There's no other way really. Through that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cured me. Okay, what we'll do now, we'll look at the how to actually do the jet process. Inshallah ta'ala, so we'll do the jet process now. Okay, bismillah. Okay, what we're going to demonstrate now here is how to do the jet process, okay, which we talked about earlier. first thing you've got to do before you actually even do this, you have to first diagnose a person, have they got jinn inside them? Alright? So before even doing this, I'll diagnose the family member, have they got jinn? And then I'll do general diagnosis and find out, okay, they've got jinn. Because it doesn't really matter what type of jinn they've got. This process works for all jinn. So now I'll do that process and I'll work out that the person, okay, my family member, has jinn inside them. The next thing to do will be to get to the guide point, which is somewhere around here. You don't have to, you don't worry about that. So which is around about here, okay? And what I will do is I'll mark the place first of all. So I'll put the hijama cup there, pump it, and I'll leave the cup there for about a minute, just to mark the area for myself. So when I do the intentions, I know what I'm doing basically. So I'll leave that for about a minute or so, and I'll take it off. So then I see the area is marked. Okay. Then what I would do, I might want to apply some olive oil onto that area as well. Then what I would do, I would read the Ruqya. I would read Ruqya on him using Surah Fatiha. I would sit down somewhere close to him, or you can just stand up here. It might be better if you sit down, because you'll be standing for 15 minutes. So you get a little chair, you sit down, and then read the Ruqya for 15 minutes, exactly 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes, you might ask? Well, that's what we've been doing. On all the people we've done this process on, there's quite a few now, I know, several people, and they've all been successful. We did 15 minutes, so why do you want to do something different? What we've noticed that when you do less than that, it doesn't work so well. So just do 15 minutes. Yeah, it's just to do with experience. 15 minutes seems to be about right. So you read Surah Fatiha for 15 minutes with the intention. Okay, what are the intentions here? It's all to do with the intentions here. So your intention is you're asking Allah to draw all the jinn from all of the body, around the body, into this area which you've marked, which you can clearly see now. So you're asking Allah to draw all the jinn into this area. Okay? You ask Allah to, this is the second intention, you ask Allah to trap the jinn in this area. Then you ask Allah to kill the jinn. When they arrive here, you want them to die in here as well. So the jinn which get here, you want the jinn to die here as well. So that's 3 intentions there, you see. And I'll be reading that for 15 minutes with those intentions. Okay, you read, and I'm reading. After 15 minutes, I'll put the cup back on. And I pump it. And I'm still reading with those 3 intentions. Reading, and I'll read for another, and I'll leave the cup in there for another 3 minutes. And I'm still reading with those intentions. After about 3 minutes, I'll take the cup off. Okay, I'll take the cup off. And I'll have my blade. And then I'll make another intention with the blade, you see, because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the cure is, one of the cures is in the blade. It's in the blade. So you turn the blade into a weapon against the jinn inside this, in your relative. You turn the blade into a weapon. Just like, and this is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not really doing it, we're just the means. Just like when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam threw the soil at the Quraysh, or the dust at the Quraysh, when Allah says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما رميت إذ رميت ولكن الله رمى. So it's Allah who subhanahu wa ta'ala took it there. The Rasul just got to do something. It's like likewise, we have to do something. Alright? We have to do something, and we make intention, Ya Rabbi, please help us. And that's what you do here. Okay, so and when you're cutting, so you've turned the blade into a weapon, and you start cutting. You do as many cuts as you can. As many cuts as you can. And it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know this is really, we're not doing really anything. We leave this to Allah. So we're asking Allah to kill the jinn with our cuts. And you do as many as you can into that area. Okay? So that intention is there, killing the jinn with the blade. Asking Allah to kill the jinn with the blade. That intention is there. I've also got those 3 intentions as I'm reading the Ruqya. As soon as you start cutting, the 4th intention for the Ruqya has to come in, which is, I want to draw the jinn out, let it draw out, let it come out, let it flow with the blood, let it go in, let it come out with the blood. That intention comes in as well. So now we've got 4 intentions with the Ruqya, and you've got the cutting as well. Okay? So now I'll cut do as many cuts as I can, and then I'll put the cup back on. I'll put the cup back on, and then I'll pull out. I make the intention I want Allah to help us pull the jinn out of this person. To pull the jinn out of the person. And I've also got those 4 intentions as well. The 4 intentions are there. If you've not made enough cuts inside there, you can take the cup off and put more cuts if you need to be. Okay, so now when I put the cup back on, I pulling out all the jinn out, because that intention has to be there with the pulling. You can't forget any of these intentions. What we've noticed that you forget one of them, it doesn't work so well. So it's important to have all of the intentions there. So I've got now 4 intentions of Ruqya, and I've done the intentions of the cutting, done that intentions. Now I'm doing the intentions of pulling out the jinn by the permission of Allah. Okay? So then let the cup fill up with the blood, then remove it, then clean, then obviously put the cup back on. Again, that intention is there. And I'm still reading Ruqya. Ruqya from the beginning is non-stop. It's non-stop, the Ruqya. It can be quite tiring. Because when you add it all up, it's like you read it for about half an hour to 40 minutes sometimes. Okay, so now put the cup back on, pump again. Again, the intention is there. Don't forget that intention, pulling the jinn out. Okay, put the cup back in. Again, take blood out, put the cup back on again. Remove the blood. And again, that intention is there. Don't forget these intentions. What I've noticed that sometimes you can forget. You just forget to like mundane, you just forget to have that intention as you're doing the pump. No, make sure that intention is there. Don't rush. Do it slowly. So maybe you put the cup back on maybe 5 times. And that will be enough, inshallah ta'ala. And then you're finished. That's it. Now, when you look at it from a distance, all you see me doing is, oh, he's doing hijama and he's reading some Ruqya. That's what it looks like when you look at it like that. But in reality, something else is going on. You see? Yeah? So, this is no bid'ah going on here. Nothing strange is happening. We're just doing Ruqya and hijama with intentions. Intentions are a big deal. Big deal here. Makes a big difference here. So once you've done that with a patient, what you could do there, you wait, obviously, put some olive oil on the wound, right? And you wait for about half an hour. Then you want to check them. Okay, give them something to drink. You want to check them for, see if they've got any dead jinn inside them, with that intention. Through doing specific Ruqya, see if they've got any dead jinn inside them because of what you've done, the process that you've done on them. So it works out. So you work out how successful was the jet process. Okay. So if they've got dead jinn inside them, just say, don't worry, alhamdulillah, that will, inshallah ta'ala, go. So after a few days, they should be jinn clear. You can also check for damaged jinn, because maybe you'll find that becomes negative. That's a negative result. So then you check them again, you find that if you've got any damaged jinn because of what we've done with the jet process, if they've got any damaged jinn because of that. You read with that intention, and if you get a reaction, it means you've got some damaged jinn. Okay, what we do there, just wait. We'll do it again, inshallah ta'ala. And usually, the 2nd or the 3rd time it's done, then that clears the jinn. You know, that clears the jinn. One other point I'd like just to say on this point is that what we've noticed is that obviously I'm not charging for this. When I'm doing the jet and I'm doing that Ruqya on the people, I'm not charging, you see. That has an effect. I'm quite sure that has an effect. So what's driving me to go to do this on the person? Because I can see the person suffering, like my friend was suffering. Last week I did this on him. Maybe 10 years. So when I did it, alhamdulillah, we cleared him of all the jinn he had. Alhamdulillah, all permission of Allah. You see. So one of the things doing this process, and that's why it's important for family members to do this. That's why I'm encouraging family members to do this. Because it's not very difficult to learn hijab, to do this process, just intentions. Is that because that sincerity, that love, and that concern is there for their relative. And you can't buy that with money. You see, you can't buy that. That's why it's important for one family member always to know how to do hijab and Ruqya, so they can help people out, the rest of the family out, inshallah ta'ala. I hope that is clear. If you have any questions, obviously my email is is usually at the bottom of our videos, so you can refer to me by sending me an email. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك.